Hey, you guys. So, my tablet is at 26%, and I was going to come on here and do something with y'all. But I was like, you know what? I have a Airlines Day. Let's put that on hold. You guys, I am seriously, this is actually quite frightening, what I'm going to talk about right now. This is actually quite frightening, to be honest with you, because this is something that we're seeing a lot. Um, I'm no longer doing the StreamYards monthly subscription thing. Maybe I'll change my mind next month, follow month, whatever. Maybe I'll change my mind, but I'm no longer doing it. So I'm not able to share any screens or anything in the free mode. But either way, you guys, I literally stumbled across something, and someone was giving a background of a hoodoo story, right, of the seven sisters, right? And of course, I would say this: if the facts of a story cannot be, if no one could give you the facts of a story, then it's typically he say, she say, and it's been, switched up like the telephone game. One minute it's hi and bye, the next minute it's die and hi, the following minute it's bye bye, the next minute it's goodbye, and there you go. Before it gets back around, it's a whole nother experience, right? It's a whole nother name, a whole nother person, and the person who started is like, damn, what the hell? So going into this, you guys, okay. So they were, the storyline about them, which I'm not going to get into because it's not even about that. That's not the dilemma. The dilemma was the person who posted this also began to go into initiating into hoodoo. And I tell y'all, there's a commercial aspect of spirituality that's oversaturated. And then there's the real aspect of spirituality, which has not really been tapped into on social media. Because of course, if you talked about this stuff, and I was even having a conversation with one of my sisters today about even starting like a private group where we can freely discuss, via video and stuff. I'm about to look up a site that people cannot, record, and you got to be on camera so we can see you, so we can openly discuss certain spiritual topics without it red flagging anything on the internet. I want to say this, right? Since 9/11, 2001, and thereafter, they have been implementing security all throughout platforms. Y'all, even going into like recently in the past 2015 and up, 2015 or 2010s and up, they were implementing, burner phones as being trackable. And a lot of people didn't know this. People are still out here buying burner phones, doing shady shit on them, and they're getting caught, and they're thinking that people are snitching on them. But everybody got their hands in a cookie jar. And so I'm saying all this to say, if you are really out here spitting some type of spiritual tea, one or two things would happen. And one, for sure, they'll try to do everything in their power to make sure they don't advertise you. And for two, to make sure that you keep your mouth closed. Okay? Even going into the sense of the bigger people, because we mentioned this before, and I will always say this, there's organizations that hire people who are truly gifted, and they know they're gifted, to work for them privately. And at that point, you can't be on social media, babe. Okay? So that's why even going into YouTube, there's people that have been on here that were spiritual advisors, etc., etc. And people are like, yeah, they used to get on here and now they don't get on no more. Sometimes people walk away and they're, they want to focus only on their in-person stuff. But a lot of times people are presented with opportunities that go above and beyond what YouTube, IG, TikTok can even offer them. And yes, it's about, who you can reach, how many people you reach, but it's also about quality and not quantity when it comes to especially spirituality. And so either way, in the sense of that, we got to be very mindful about what we say and what we do and what we even get into, because a lot of things happen. There's times I want to come in here, I want to talk about certain things that no one has really tapped into, and something mysteriously would happen. Like a laptop gets damaged, or a microphone gets fucked up, or my internet gets disconnected for 2 weeks. And I'm like, what the fuck? So it's always something great. So I'm always like trying to ease my way into having conversations about stuff without making it so head on. But because I just like to speak directly, I'm a direct communicator. It's a little hard for me. So I'd rather just say, let me not even get on there, right? It's frustrating to even talk about certain shit where I'm like, I'm not even going to get on there and talk about it. And even when I see other people talk about bullshit, I'm like, whatever. But this individual was talking about being initiated into hoodoo. And I'm going to present some things right here, right? Because they even were mentioning, not this person, but in the past, people are saying hoodoo is voodoo, right? And the shocking difference of it for me is they both deals with spirits, veneration, lineage, because African Americans were, hoodoo, was their foundation. The Southern, right? The Southern African Americans, that was the foundation of their household. It was the foundation of them, honestly finding their true identity and actually surpassing, and not all, but most, surpassing rules and regulations that were put on them. Times where things were illegal, where people were called to do certain things, they used hoodoo to get past that. Okay? And so either way, going into voodoo, that is a lineage from the blood, right? So the great grandparents, the parents, this is usually something that is passed down into the grandchildren and children. A lot of people think because somebody is Haitian or someone is from the Caribbean that they're automatically born into that bloodline, and that's not true. Okay, that's why you have a lot of fake ass Haitian spiritualists out there, amongst a lot of fake ass other spiritualists, right? Because they don't have the right to tap into that because it's not for them. And so, even going into the hoodoo aspect, the difference between them two would be yes, they all are into the spiritual stuff, or they all have some type of lineage, spirituality, or spiritual aspect to them. But when it comes into voodoo, the spirit speaks in the people. You want to know if somebody's a real voodoo? If somebody really practiced voodoo, a mambo, a wagon? You want to know who they really are? Their energy will come forward and speak to you, especially if you are somebody who's seeking to do workings with them or even get into that. But even going into that whole initiation process, bitch, you're not going to be American, have no Haitian blood, no Nigerian blood, no type of blood connected to any type of lineage connected to that and be initiated into something like that. If they are doing that, they're scamming you. Okay? Going into hoodoo, okay, this is something that came from the South that these people practice secretly. It was not something just to go out. I mean, girl, even at one point, you would get jailed for practicing this stuff at one point. If they found out you were a witch doctor, hoodoo doctor, you did any type of trickling, any of that, bitch, they got you together. And the most saddest thing about it is, because this is repeated throughout history, is that you have people who looked like you turning your ass in. They got upset because they didn't want to leave old man Jimmy alone. They wanted to lay some tricks down on them. They wanted to blackmail your ass to do the work for them. And then guess what they did? Oh, I'm going to go down here to the folks, and I'm going to tell the folks this bitch out here doing some shit. And then they tell her, oh, yeah, she had to do a trick work on y'all. Your business got fucked up because she working energy on you. Oh, you found an egg outside your door? Yep, there's a bitch 2 blocks down the door, Mrs. Jenkins, and she laying tricks on y'all. And if you know what tricks are, she fucking it. So bitch, just pique people curiosity. And this is how we got the commercialized aspect of hoodoo. But like I said, that is a lineage thing based on, okay, connections to the South Okay, because a lot of people, north, south, east, west, it doesn't matter. Even a lot of people on the East Coast, a lot of their currently right now, their ancestry started in the South, in the Carolinas. And of course, people are going to say at one point the Carolinas were considered the Carolinas and the South was the South. But at the end of the day, they still consider the Carolinas the South. So there's different type of energy there, but it's still one in the motherfucking same. So you don't know whose bloodline, and even going to that too, right? Because this is where I'm getting into the dilemma part of this. Okay, because we got people like Halani, we got people like Zendaya, we got a lot of people that are very racially ambiguous, and you have the common, or what I would say, the black folk who you could tell they black, whatever that may mean, 4C hair, wide nostril nose, whatever the case that may be, whatever identifies you as a black person, they want to be, oh, she ain't black. Oh, girl, why? Who's this white bitch trying to practice, trying to do work in? Who this white bitch you trying to teach our crafts with? And I just be thinking to myself, right, when I get all this, right, when I be seeing all this, y'all, because this is, like I said, this is what's troubling me, and this is why magic in America will never excel. It will never advance. It will never reach its true potential. Right? In the past, it didn't help free the slaves. In the past, it didn't help free all of the black folks from being squirted down with water hose and be attacked by dogs and even sent to jail just for being a free person. Right? It didn't stop that because, like I said, at the end of the day, you always have people, and I'm gonna call them trick watchers, that are always trying to look and instead of worrying about they magic and how they shit motherfucking manifest, they worrying about who is this and who the fuck he think he is and who the fuck she think is and this is not your magic. Bitch, you don't know who's and what the magic is, bitch. Clearly you have the magic all these motherfucking generations and you haven't did a fuck ass thing with it. If we're gonna be quite frank and honest. Clearly your great grandmama have taught you about the hoodoo voodoo shit and your ass still end up behind motherfucking bars. When they were doing the same workings in the South, bitch, we could go along that line. They were doing the same workings all along the South where you claim to be from to stop them from going to jail, to stop your grandpa from going to jail, to stop your grandpa from being lynched, right? And then now, allegedly, you're attached to that. This is my bloodline. This is my blood right, and your ass get locked up. Your ass got a file for bankruptcy. But then you said that Big Mama had a hoodoo ritual to keep money in the house. We all know that simple trick. Bitch, a coffee can on top of your refrigerator with coffee, sugar, cinnamon, thyme, and you put your bills in there. When the bills pay, you write penny, you put it in there. We all know that trick, even in California. Okay? So, bitch, why were you not able to do that if this is really your magic? And so, like I said, the dilemma for me is, and I know I'm saying a lot, but it's that you don't know whose magic this is. You can't look at someone, you don't know nobody's story about, oh, you from over there in California. So this bitch don't know anything about this bitch. You don't know where my grandparents are from. And we talk about both sides. You don't know where the fuck they're from. My mother and father's side are both from the motherfucking South and the motherfucking Midwest. Bitch, you don't know what the fuck I'm connected to. Just because I'm raised in California don't mean a fuck ass thing. Because it's just like you were raised in motherfucking Chicago, that don't mean that's where your roots started at. Can we talk about it? That's where your branches landed at, but your roots started where the fuck they started from. And so at the end of the day, going into the white folks, because everybody, girl, they get so cute with the abbreviation and shit. YT. We want to know why the YT people feel like they can practice hoodoo and voodoo. And the white people, y'all be letting these white folks in our space, but they don't want y'all in their space. And this speaks a lot too, because this speaks about ignorance and how ignorance stunts your spiritual growth. Do you not know that you have incarnated and reincarnated many, many times over and over again to have an experience as a white woman, a black woman, an Asian woman, a black man, a gay man, a straight man, a Muslim, a Jewish, so that your spirit could be 360, which is called holistic. It's holistically living. It's called holy activated, Holy Spirit experience. Do you not know this is why you become a multifaceted individual throughout eons and eons of living? You don't incarnate because it's cute to be sassy, sassy, and have this skin, this hair, whatever the hell you think you got right now, because when you die, it doesn't matter. You are doing it for the spirit. And the spirit supersedes any gender, any race, any religion that has ever existed and that's going to come. So the idea that you are a spiritual person, because people lose me at this, girl. If you're a church person, you start talking about racism, sexism, homophobia, bitch, you lost me. I'm done. I'm right. I wash my hands. I can't connect with you because your spirit is still asleep. Your spirit is still dormanted. You're out here claiming to be a psychic, a seer, or oracle, or reader. You're tapped in. You've been scratched. You've been ordained. You're a chosen one, and you're still talking about sexism, homophobia, gender bender, all this other bullshit that does not matter to the spirit, bitch, you are still dormanted because you're so gifted with seeing other people's shit. Why can't you see who the fuck you are? That's one of the first rituals that I learned when I was initiated into one of my organizations was to understand who and what you actually are and not who you are right now because if you lived before this life, who you are right now, it matters, but not really. Who were you throughout all these times? Because this is what allows you to have an open mind and respect for different cultures and different experiences that people are having. This is what it calls you to become a well-rounded, clear thinking, spiritually awakened person. You cannot be spiritually awakened, but yet do not know spirit. That doesn't make sense for me. So all these questions about white folks not wanting you in their space and why y'all let white folks in your space. First of all, who said these white folks ain't? Because according to studies, it said that 3.5 self-identifying. According to a study, 3.5 self-identifying Caucasian Americans have at least 1% of African ancestry. Now they didn't say black African, but let y'all tell it African means black. So we're gonna stick with y'all terms. So the idea that this is according to a study that 3.5%, and girl, these are the ones who took the test. Everybody didn't take the motherfucking study. Because I have to ask the white people I know. I said, did they give you a study or a test to see if you have African ancestors? They're like, no, I never heard anything about that. I never really thought about that. I might be black because I got a big girl. But you know, they say shit like, but anyway, you don't have to get into that because that's what one of the guys said, Nick girl. Nick was like, girl, I might be black because I got a big one. I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to see it, but okay. But it's like, girl, you don't know who these white folks could be blacker than you. They could have spent their lifetimes in Africa and decided to migrate in the physical realm to be a white woman in America because they needed that experience right now. They needed to be faced with the harsh reality of what black Americans or some black Americans have experienced in this country. So it's like, girl, if you're really a spiritually awakened, spiritually advanced, like you claim you are, guy or girl, and girl, you're gonna understand energy is what it is. And this doesn't take a spiritually conscious person to know this. We all know that when we die, genitalia doesn't matter. We all know when we die, your spirit is not erased. What gender and race and shit, that's why they say that angels are unisex. Angels are androgynous because genitalia doesn't matter, bitch, when you're done with this. And a lot of people have tried to make it comfortable for you, right? They try to make it comfortable for you. And I've told you, I've been blessed with a great privilege to see what it's like before you're about to transition from the other side into a reincarnation state. They call it orientation. You are completely clean. There's no boobs, there's no penis, there's no vagina. You're just an essence of energy. And for the understanding of whatever perception you're dealing with at that point, that's what you manifest as. Because you manifest in this realm what you expect for others to see you as, right? And this even going to the sense of what you control, right? You want people to see your blonde hair, so you dye your hair blonde. Oh, I do it for me. You don't do it for you, bitch, because you did it for you. You would step in your house with your blonde hair. Clearly, you wore the blonde hair to come out to get some type of recognition, and there's nothing wrong with that because we all like to be validated in our experience, right? To a degree. But you did that so that people could acknowledge you for the blonde that you are right now, or for the overweight person or the skinny person, whatever. This is all subconsciously and sometimes consciously chosen. So the same thing with you being white or you being black. You being white is not a flex. You being black is not a flex. And the fact that people are claiming to be spiritual, you are above. You are considered to be someone who has their energies awakened. What separates you from the mundane world is the fact that your spirit and your essence is not dormant. That's what separates you. So even going into your existence of your experiences, right? Like, oh, well, I'm human. I'm a spirit having a human experience, so I do what humans do. Girl, if you're a spiritualist and you still lying, you're a spiritualist, you're still cheating, you're a spiritualist, you're still doing shit. Oh, girl, I'm not even gonna get into that. If you're still sinning as a spiritual individual, then you're just a fraud and fake and phony. Because, like I said, there's a lot of times where things I'm thinking about things I want to do things, and because I am a spiritual awakened individual, spirit is like, bitch, now listen, now listen, bitch, you gonna do this, and this might happen. And I told you, even before I became aware of who I am and my purpose and my ability, because we all were young once, as they said, but I didn't make dumbass decisions as a kid. Okay, my dumb decision was probably sneaking out of the house to go to the store with somebody who got caught stealing. That was probably my dumb decision. I didn't break into nobody's car. I wasn't stealing shit. I wasn't fucking and sucking on nobody. I wasn't out here doing no fucking trying popping pills. I wasn't doing none of that. Now my siblings, on the other hand, they can all tell their story. They all have done that. They all was fucking young. Like I said, that wasn't my story. Because when it came time for me to be like, well, maybe I should try it too, something came in and was like, bitch, wait a minute, hold up. This is not your purpose. And I would be thinking about it like, wait a minute. Well, maybe I shouldn't do this because I'm like, oh, this might feel a little weird. I don't, yeah, So I don't know, it's a combination of a lot of things that prevent me from doing foolish ass shit. And I'm not just people who have done that. I'm just saying, even after you have experienced these things and you become a fully awakened to your potential, now you start repenting. That means falling away from. That doesn't mean all of a sudden you're holier than thou. I'm about to get baptized, and I'm a changed woman. Please don't call me digga wigga ligga ligga. Please call me Miss Nancy. No, we're not talking about that. We're talking about you've acknowledged the simple things you've done, and you said I'm going to step away from that. And when we say simply means the ways that was stifling and staggering your spiritual involvement. And so everything we do is for a purpose. Everything we do is with intention. And so we got to think about this all the way around. Why does it matter if a white woman want to practice African spirituality? That does not affect you in any way, shape, or form. Any curses, any hexes that this lady get or man get, that does not apply to you. Going into that, why does it matter to you if a man, and of course I got to throw that in there because bitches be so caught up in the tea. Why does it matter to you if a woman wants to become a man or a man become a woman? Y'all be acting like it be y'all body. And that's why I be saying too, girl, my body, my right. Right? If it's your body and your right and you can do what the fuck you want to do, bitch, let me do whatever the fuck I'm going to do with my body. I don't fuck with nobody that don't fuck with me. I'm not out here scouting married men. I'm not out here scouting freshly 18 turned boys. Okay? I'm not out here to stick my venom into anybody. Okay? I let those things come to me. And bitch, I decide if I want it or not. And if I decide, I decide. But I determine that. I'm not out here maliciously with intentions to destroy and fuck up shit. So that's what separates me from a lot of people. Anyway, I'm not even gonna get into that because I'm like with the whole mindset of that you're purposely doing something or you're doing stuff with intention, and then to purposely say that it whatever, girl. I don't know. Anyway, go back into the still white folks and non-black folks doing African. Like I say, y'all don't know who the fuck y'all are, and that'd be another question that I'll be trying to get down to with these black people in the South, especially in the South. Girl, do y'all know the South was a portal? Do you know at one point the South, the East Coast, the South, California too, but California is mostly a place for they know the Chinese was most of and the Hawaiians are most of the importers that came through California and stuff, right? But going into the South and stuff, do y'all know how many cultures and how many people been all up and through down the South? And the Gulf of Mexico and the coastal lines of Florida and the Carolinas and New York and all that. Do you know how many races of people over these years, we're going to say at least the past 200 years, have been through those waters to get into this land? A lot of y'all don't even know who the fuck you are because you see somebody who look like you, maybe, and you're like, ooh, I guess this is what I am too because we look alike. Girl, I've seen Chinese people look like white people. And y'all say, well, a lot of Chinese are white because they were called us white. Yeah, but maybe like 300 damn years ago. But currently right now, the Chinese will be like, no, here's my grandfather. You again, they'll show you a picture of their grandfather, and it's a dark looking Chinese person. Even going into modern day America, we know black folks that have blonde hair, blue eyes, very pale skin, and you look at both of their parents, they will have very dark skinned parents. You go look at their grandparents, same thing. So you're like, where did they get this light skin from? You don't know anybody's culture based on looking at them. Like I said, a lot of you don't know your own culture. So I'd be so curious to know why y'all are so like trying to police hoodoo, voodoo, or any of that, because you don't even know that's your fucking right. You don't even know that's your fucking right. Because you can't get laws to protect your ass past if it needed to motherfucking save your ass. Y'all worried about motherfucking Chinese and Asians getting rights to get protected when that guy went into that massage parlor and did what he did down there in the South. The Asian, oh, they must got some of the Asian. Girl, it's called good magic. That's what it's called. It's called, these people are focused and dedicated to their motherfucking craft. And they don't let Tom Dicker, they might have fights amongst each other, but they're not letting anybody else in their motherfucking circle. Bitch, you go to a Chinese store, any place, you try to ask about ancestor money, or how y'all burn this, how y'all burn that, they're gonna be like, Bungo Chai. Girl, they're gonna act like they don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Girl, what? Woo-hoo. And then when you educate them on it, oh, you know this? Yeah, honey, I'm using this. I'm gonna do the red offering for the ancestors that passed away on this and that. The yellow go for that. I'm gonna bless them. I'm gonna also give them some mandarin orange. They be gagging. Like, what? Are you Asian? You part Asian? Girl. So the same thing with that. Girl, you don't know who, what, when, why, how, but clearly what we all motherfuckers see is that y'all magic ain't really motherfucking imagining. Okay? Magicking. Okay, let's get into it. That's what we know so far because y'all so focused on white people, YT people in your motherfucking magical spaces. This is why y'all shit ain't manifesting. This is why y'all not collectively getting that reparation going. I mean, girl, we can just break down a whole list of what's fucking going on that y'all got that y'all not gonna motherfucking see because instead of y'all having y'all nose in your own books, trying to get your magic and get your motherfucking household together, you want about Tom, Dick, and Harry. The magic in your house is broken. Can't keep the door locked. Can't keep food in the motherfucking refrigerator. Can't keep the fucking lights on. And you heard her talk about you doing spells and shit and why the white people out here doing the magic and da 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 da. Girl, it is not your magic to gift them. So ain't no, y'all be letting them in y'all space. They don't let y'all in your space. Girl, what? What the fuck does that even mean? What the fuck does that mean? Because at the end of the day, girl, we know like, girl, come on now. You know like I know, girl, at the end of the motherfucking day, if they didn't let you in their space and allegedly y'all came from Africa, they'll be sending those who claim to be from Africa right on back to Africa. If that was really true. It's about you knowing your power and you using your power to get what you need to get to. Did y'all see the TV show called Love Country? Did y'all not see that show and not pay attention to what was going on Love Country? Did y'all not see that? Because I was a late bloomer watching that. I caught it like years after it went off. Y'all don't remember that show and what they were talking about, the premise of this and the stories and all that? Y'all don't remember that? Girl, these people had a different law. They had a different way of life versus the other people. Okay? They were sought after by people who knew the secrets of their magical abilities. And that's what y'all have to understand right now in modern day time. In reality, a lot of y'all are having problems manifesting because once again, you're not focusing, you're not studying on you, yourself, and you. Okay? You, yourself, and you. I was going to say you, yourself, and we. But whatever. You, yourself, and you. You worry about everybody else. So like I said, this is very alarming for me because these are spiritual people. These are spiritual awakened people that are out here doing workings with people with hate in their heart. They're out here teaching people the arts with a hateful heart. And then y'all wonder why things are getting fucked up. Why systems are becoming disrupted. You wonder why all these years of hard work, 300 years, 400 years, you're not seeing any light at the end of that tunnel because you're self-sabotaging your gifts. You're self-sabotaging what you were gifted, whether it's from your ancestors or the divine creators. It was gifted to you. And instead of you working, focusing on that and harnessing that and molding that, and nurturing that and watching it grow, you want about everybody else but your motherfucking self. And that even goes to another person too, as a side note, who was claiming to be. I used to drive and bought her book. And if she want to go forward, she can talk about it because you're not like responding. Hello, you know I love responding, honey. I'm bitch. I'm a corresponder. Y'all know that, honey. If she want to come forward and respond, I would gladly come out. Girl, I would listen. I'll jump on her channel. Say, man, what's up? What's going on? Because at first it was cute and all, and I got no problem with the LGBT. I just got a problem with one. Girl, all this shit she been focused on was gay and trans. Everything was trans hate, gay hate. In the back of my mind, I'm thinking like, girl, you're a woman with multiple kids and ain't with none of the children's father. You're a woman with multiple kids that instead of you getting your career and shit together and worrying about your finances, you in the motherfucking system. Instead of you worrying about you, yourself, and elevating yourself, your consciousness, girl, you're going through it financially. You're going through, but like I said, instead of you building yourself up, you want about everybody else, and that's why your shit is falling apart. That's why I say people call me self-centered, and I tell people when it comes to being important or when it comes to important stuff, I am very self-centered. Yes, I am. My priority is to have a roof over my head, food in my mouth, and to be healthy. Those are my priorities. If that means cutting off family and friends, that means cutting off people I knew all my life, bitch, so be it. If that's what that means, that's what that means. If that means I'm about to work to make sure that I got a roof on my motherfucking head versus hanging out with friends and then talk about, oh, I don't know what I'm going to do. Rena's doing 2 days and I don't know what I'm going to do. Girl, looking like a dum-dum? Like, listen, this is called prioritizing. And anybody who's a real ass person, anybody who's also a self-centered person, bitch, you, like I said, you can tell the ones who care more about prioritizing their responsibilities versus people who want to hang out with friends and do fuck the bad shit. Those are the ones that they manifesting on welfare. And I'm not cutting in, I'm just saying what it is. Those ones out here saying they're doing money versus they're manifesting and they're getting a social security check every month. That's the same amount of money. Make me understand something different. Okay? If people out here being what they say, millionaires overnight with the stocks going up, wouldn't that be something you want to aspire to be like? And maybe not all of that, but wouldn't you want to be independent, self-made, and not have to worry about anybody knocking on your door and saying that you owe them anything? Wouldn't that be your desire? If you really a boss, I mean, that's really what you are. You the top of the line king, queen type of thing. Is that something you want to be? Wouldn't that motivate you to be that? And so either way, I got a little sidetracked. Going back into the YT shit, white people. Girl, listen. My name is Mystic Merkaba, Madam Merkaba, Mystic Persia, Bala Ferrari, depends on, how much, what coin you kind of give, what coin you trying to give up, whatever you're trying to buy, I just might have it. Come on in here. And I stand behind white folks, Asian folks, Hispanic folks, everybody. I stand behind everybody doing every type of magic. I stand behind all that. Because you do your research, physically speaking, you had white and black mixed in Portugal. Spiritually speaking, you have black folks in the Caucasus Mountains. And y'all be thinking that when you calling people Caucasians, that is so insulting. It just shows how ignorant and stupid you really are. Just like with saying African means you're black. And when somebody who looks white say they're African or they're African American, you're like, no way, you're not. You're not African American. Yeah, it just shows how ignorant you are. Because they are African American. See, you're African American is what you're told you are. They're African American to be proven with paperwork. That's what separates that. So, like I said, I stand behind all of that. Bitch, Caucasus Mountain, black folks doing white shit. I stand behind white folks doing black shit. Because, bitch, you don't own that shit. You think it's black because they told you it was black. You think it's white because they told you it was white. Outside of that, girl, when you die, that shit ain't gonna matter. When a spirit is judging you or you're being judged, they're not gonna say, why were you a white woman acting black? You think that that's gonna be God's most greatest concern? I just have a question for you, Roselle Donzel. What's her name? Rosanna Donzel? That Donzel girl. Donzel. Girl, why did you have these dookie braids on and tell these folks that you were part black and you not? Clearly going into the magic. Y'all heard talk about the white folks stealing your magic. I mean, I would like to even do a poll of how many white people, we're gonna call them YT because I just think that's so funny. We're gonna call them YT people. I want to ask the YT initials YT, not YT like the color white and then T. YT, we're gonna say the YouTube people. There we go. Because Whitey, I don't like the sound of that girl. Just like Blackie, I don't like the sound of Blackie either. Oh girl. YouTube. We're gonna say Utah. The Utah people. There you go, the Utah. Um, listen, Utah people. I want to know. I want y'all to show me the money rituals that y'all doing, and I want to see what y'all manifested. Black people, it's your magic out there in the South and all the good shit, girl. Girl, well, this is what I'm really hoping to wait for, and I'm just being honest with y'all. Let's put this out here. I'm waiting for a day that they say that a supremacy group, because remember they were trying to annihilate the Black Panthers and stuff, during that era, right? And they were still trying to get through it from what the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. They were still looking for some of the people in the early 2000s. People were like, they passed away, so they kind of let that go under the radar. But I'm waiting for a day where they say like the supremacy people, and y'all know what I'm talking about, that there was just a plague that busted out, and this plague just only took these people out, and then coming to find out they were all white hoodsmen, they were all white horsemen. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. Like, that's the type of shit I want to see. I want to see retaliation, because we've seen it in a lot of these movies, because that's what these girls said. They say that, Rainbow Serpentine and shit, right? Remember that girl? Rainbow Serpentine and the craft and shit. They be out here mimicking the craft and Rainbow Serpentine and Eve's Bayou and Scotty Powdy and all this stuff. They be imitating all the shit they've seen on these movies and shit, right? Even the names they call themselves is Hollywood. Hollywood made up these fucking names from the 19th century, and they be like, "This is what I call myself." Okay, sis. But like I said, what I'm curious to know, what is the retaliation going to manifest? When are you gonna get them all out of the office? Because they said that Marie Laveau was able to start shit and awaken energy and make people sick. They were even talking about during the Salem witch trial when Tatuba was brought into a certain energy. Can we talk about it? Hello, that these people mysteriously got a plague and they were dying from the plague. They were hallucinating from the plague allegedly. Certain people died from the plague allegedly. Is that why have we not seen that like that? We got all these hoodooists and voodooists and scooterists and scropetistas and whippetatious and lashes and professors, and they've been crowners and shit, crown wearers, successors. We got all these people in the South that are hoodooists, that top of the line high priestess, bam bam. I've been doing it for 75 years. I grew up in it. But we haven't seen no real magic manifest from the South like that yet, though. When are we going to see a change of the land? When are we going to see these racist white folks getting out of that office and all of a sudden they get sick with a mysterious plague and the whole lineage should get wiped out? When are we going to see something like that? This is just something that I want to really know. Being just so worried about the Utahs, you're so worried about the Utahs practicing your magic and your hoodoo, because they look so good doing it, right? This one of the comments say, "Oh, they just be taking our shit and making it their own." And I have to do my little research. I typed in, I was like, white folks doing hoodoo, white folks. Girl, listen, I was like, white people hoodoo practitioners. I had to see what they were doing, and I was like, well, I mean, the dashikis, the head wraps. Give me some clean, crisp type of teas there, and then I type in black folks hoodoo practitioners, and I'm like, well, we have a handful of good looking ones that look clean, look fresh, look hydrated, look like they've been blessed by and sanctified with the Holy Spirit and the Holy Ghost, and look like they actually read scripture and shit. And then the other ones I'm saying, I'm just like, God damn, what type of demon? What type of church is demons allowed to enter into? I'm just like, girl, what the fuck is going on with this? And girl, listen, I'm not cutting. I'm just saying. I'm just speaking what listen. I'm speaking right. Okay, I'm saying what is right, and that's what we're gonna do. And so either way, I'm just like, girl, when we gonna see something big? When we gonna see them make it to where one day? I don't know, girl. We need a miracle. We did a miracle. We got all these saints out here in the South that y'all can be connected to. We got all these, spirits, everybody on YouTube, TikTok, yeah, and that's something too. When TikTok, no, let me stop. See, because now, see, that's the little funny side trying to come out. We're not even doing that. No, we don't. We're not doing that tonight. Listen, we are seriously having issues. Um, we are in a crisis. We are in an SOS state. If you have spiritually awakened people, instead of out here, how trying to share the information, trying to help people, who you can help, out here concerned about Utahs, aka white folks, practicing so-called their magic. And that's the other thing too. What language do you think that um, what language do you think that these spirits originally spoke that you connect to? Because in hoodoo you deal with the saints, but these saints have their cover ups for these African spirits, and that's also something interesting to even think about too. Because it's like, okay, well, they used to pray in Latin, and then also going into the African spirits, what dialect of Africa do these people speak that were the first generation of hoodoo practitioners? Right? This is something I really want to know. This is something because I read books on it. I know people who practice, and we'll talk about that too. Hoodoo in Tennessee is very different from hoodoo in Louisiana, and that's why I told y'all what gave it up for me, or what told me that these people that were coming from me back. Remember those group of hoodooists that was wearing Alekis and shit? Talk about El Shun and Oya and all sort of good shit, girl. When they started coming for me, that's the kind of made me start paying attention. I was like, wait, Oklahoma, Indiana, Illinois, Alabama, South Carolina, Arizona. How are y'all who do the same? Because the people I know people in Louisiana. I know people over there in Mississippi. I know people over there in Alabama. I can't stand those fucking states. But the people, listen, hello. I know people out there in Tennessee, in Kentucky. Girl, even Texas have a form of motherfucking hoodoo. Girl, ain't no girl. Listen, what type of hoodoo ritual would I do if I want to get money and lock it down? You ask somebody from Texas who know hoodoo. Well, you're gonna take this. You're gonna do this. You're gonna do this. Da, 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 da. You're gonna make sure you throw it out before the sun come up, and it got to be done on a Tuesday, or it has to be done after the first rain, leaves out. The first storm leaves out, the first rain cycle, whatever. You ask about Louisiana, well, we know that at a particular time of the year, the herons come on out. And so we know that the herons are going to take this energy and manifest it somewhere else. And we want money to come in here all together. So we'll only do this type of work during the seasons of the heron. And when a heron, which is a bird, look it up, comes in through the swamp, and there's only two swamps these herons come into, you gotta do something. Girl, they break that down. Then you meet somebody over here. Oh, okay, you from what? Oh, okay, you from Alabama. Well, what type of hoodoo ritual would you do if you're trying to lock and get the money down? And then they'll say, well, what type of, they're very strategic. Not saying that the people out there in Louisiana and Texas that do hoodoo is not strategic, but the people I've met out there in Alabama, they're very strategic. Well, let me ask you a question. Is it money that's owed to you by the bank, by the government system, or is this money owed to you by a fellow colleague or like a neighbor? They want to know. Then you say, well, it's a neighbor. Well, listen, I need you to go on down there, to go on down the road. Now, you can either go to their yard, get something out their yard. I need some dirt, some leaves, some sticks. Okay, nails, nails even better. Okay, but if not, I need you to go to their street where the roads cross at. I need you to get the first stick you see. Okay, and girl, they see, like I said, they'll say that type of. Then you meet somebody up there in Indiana, which they kind of practice a little bit of like the Ozark tea out there. Shout out to my Ozark witches out there. You go. But they kind of practice a little bit of the Ozark tea with a little bit of Dutch tea, which is so crazy because I'm thinking like, how did they get some Dutch magic over there in Indiana? But then I do my research and I find out Indiana got a lot of. They got a lot of white horsemen out there, and I thought, oh, that makes sense. But either way, you have somebody out there in Indiana, you say, well, how do you do your hoodoo? And then they're like, well, you know what? We don't really call it hoodoo. We just call it conjuring or summoning some type of energy. So if you're having a problem with the law, you need to go down to that courthouse. Okay, because the money's being stopped. What? How? Once again, then you're going to, Tennessee. Now the Tennessee people, see, that's a whole nother type of area. Okay. Now I'm not from Tennessee. I don't have family members from Tennessee. I don't have lineage from Tennessee. West Virginia, yes. Florida, yes. Texas, yes. Arkansas, yes. But I don't have family. Oh, that's something too. Arkansas hoodoo is also a little different as well. It's actually a mix of three different things. But either way, you going over there to Tennessee, and you're like, girl, this is something new. What the fuck is this? And they're like, listen, this is what I was taught, right? Because it came on down from the Carolinas. Because see, over there in Tennessee, see let's get into it very lightly. Now, when it comes into silence, okay, secrecy, the secret, and working the arts, Tennessee has a very different, very accurate and precise system when it comes to doing hoodoo work. And if you don't know, because we're gonna put it up right now, because people say, "What the fuck is hoodoo work?" Let's get Google to help us out what the fuck hoodoo work is, because we know what hoodoo work is. But let's do it for labor services. But you probably gonna Google it anyway. Okay, let's get into it. So, what is hoodoo?
Oh, it says the folk magic tradition that originated in Africa was developed in the Americas by enslaved Africans and their descendants. Now, of course, this is what Google says, y'all, and I really don't believe this because, I mean, in all honesty, then that means that the original people who practice hoodoo, they would be speaking in African dialect. There will be prayers. There will be prayers in African dialect, Latin, or Hebrew, and not English, if this was really true. So I do honestly feel like every time I look up shit like this on YouTube or Google, and then I read a book, a lady wrote a book on it, I was just like, no, this is not the real truth right here. I feel like this is some commercialized information that y'all trying to give out to fuck people up, because I don't feel like this is the tea. But it says the origins, who the roots are in the West and Central African spiritual traditions, but it was influenced by Christianity, Jewish mysticism, and Native American practices. Now, mind you, black folk, hoodoo roots are in West and Central Africa. Now, of course, you do your own research to see who colonized West and Central Africa, what cultures are there now. So you kind of see the influence now, because bitch, we call it ley lines. We call it truth words. So even though you're not there now, the people that are there now, they're still feeding you that motherfucking energy. And that's really what you're tapping into. Can we talk about it? Just like crystals, the energy of my clear quartz, if you got your clear quartz from Brazil, the caves of Brazil, my crystal, your crystal, they're related. So whatever energy you're working with your crystal, my crystal will also tap into that energy because they have a certain type of intelligence. So the same thing with this type of energetic system. And it says that it was influenced by Christianity, which is not black, by the way. Let's talk about this black folks that say white folks got to do hoodoo. You, like I said, it said Christianity, that's not black. Christianity is not black. Christianity is white. It says Jewish mysticism, that's not black. That can also be classified as being white because we practice Jewish mysticism. Can we talk about it? Y'all don't celebrate bar mitzvahs and shit. You let me know about that hoodoo practitioners over there and why you want about Utah's doing y'all motherfucking magic. And then it said Native American practice. And that's another motherfucking thing too. How the hell y'all out here doing hoodoo and y'all don't know anything about herbs? See, I got a thick ass encyclopedia on herbs. I'm a licensed and certified herbalist. I'm licensed, so we're not talking about that. That's not even. But we are certified herbalists. Bitch, when they tell you, listen, I know what you can mix, what you cannot take. Like I said, when something comes up, bitch, that's what I do. To keep my immune system strong, to keep my sinuses and allergies where they should be at in check, I do herbal supplements. Okay? We get into all that. I went down a list of some of the herbs I take on a continuous basis. Right? We just incorporated black fermented garlic and also going into, what is the other one? Mullein. Okay? Because, girl, you know, people, they're getting the flu and shit right now, girl. We ain't getting no fucking flu. We keeping all our pastures cleared out. And so, like I said, it's Native American practices, Jewish mysticism, and Christianity. So this is already going to attract, this is for common sense. This is for people who have a brain, because we know that for some reason in the spiritual community, I don't know if they doped up, drunked up, slept up, fucked up. I don't know what it is. These spirituals I've seen on YouTube and TikTok and the IGs and shit, this is a whole nother type of spiritual people. Because I know people from the South. Bitch, hello? And they ain't nothing like y'all. I'm just saying. Girl, boy, Indiana too. I don't know. Listen, there ain't nothing like y'all people. I'm just like, how the hell? What type of practice is this? And so, if you have something that is Christianity, Jewish mysticism, and Native American practices combined, you're going to have basically almost everybody in America interested in doing it. Am I right or am I wrong? Right? Because a lot of people have Native American roots and they're trying to, figure out what type of magic Native Americans. Unfortunately, but fortunately, hoodoo would be the nearest type thing. Now, of course, you have Indian powwows that you can go into if you're actually Native American and you're some type of tribe and you have your tribe card. Y'all have your own private practices too. But for the most part, a lot of these Native Americans I met in America, they're Christians. Okay, they're Christians, honey. I mean, we could slice it, cut it whichever you want. They go to church. Okay, they talk about God, the creator and shit. They don't go and girl, listen, they don't be out here burning. Today we're doing a cleanse, a seance and all that. You hear about that from the white folks and black folks more than you hear about them. You hear them talking about it. But either way, that's what this came into. And it said that it developed during the slave trade to help ease the oppression of enslaved people. Now we talk about this as well. It said that it helped to ease the oppression of enslaved people. So is this saying that the enslaved people did some, because I keep telling y'all this, the reason why black folks did not become completely free is because we're going to call them coonsmen. And we're going to call them coonsmen because they remind me of motherfucking raccoons. And they probably eat fucking raccoons too. As Tabitha Brown said, they eat raccoons and possums. I would be surprised if Tabitha Brown ancestors went into that snitchy shit. They were a little bit jealous because they weren't tapped in. So they went and they were telling the white folks shit. Hey, you might want to go down here on the corner of Mary Beth and Huckleberry. There's a lot of color folks down there having a party. They're doing a swinging dance. And all of a sudden the white folks come, woo, 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 and they arrest everybody down there. Then you wonder why his magic worked and our magic didn't, because he told on y'all motherfucking ass. That's why the magic motherfucking work. He's a snitchy ass bitch. Then y'all going into, as a little side note, I'm gonna have to start saying that before I get into it. As a little side note, y'all have these Al Sterling. Damn, I forgot to speak with them. You had all these people getting in trouble with the law, and y'all like, oh, this is so fucked up. Protect our people. And I just tell y'all, I step back because I'm like, at the end of the day, how do we not know that Alston Sterling, is it Sterling Alston? I don't know, girl. One of those people that we heard about these stories. How do you not know if they ancestors, one of the ones that snitched on your ancestors who was practicing magic and got your ass locked up and got them locked up, or who got them taken out? How do you not know that? How do you not know that your grandfather, your great-great-grandfather was the hottest thing in town? He draw all the ladies to him. That motherfucker's grandfather, great-great-grandfather, got jealous because he was getting all the girls and he was one ugly ass motherfucker, the other one was. So he went down to the white folks, say, hey, they're going to have a party and all those color folks going to be down there. They're going to be drinking. They're going to be smoking. And the cop goes, oh, really? Well, don't worry. We're going to protect your family. So the cops going down there. How do you not know that? See, that's how karma works. Karma manifests. Oh, hallelujah. Karma manifests differently. And like I say, God works in mysterious ways. It's true. You don't know how that energy is going to manifest. See, right now, it's not important to you. So you're going to say, well, all these years, nothing happened to his ancestry. All of a sudden, this happened, that happened. Yeah, when Mars went retrograde and Saturn wanted to dance around with Mars, that's when all that police shit happened. So who's to say that these people wasn't no fucked up ass people, did some fucked up ass shit? Who's to say that? Who's to say that, man? Y'all don't know that? Y'all not the judge, the jury, and the motherfucking police officers. So that's what I said. We need to step back and mind our motherfucking business. How about that? Worry about you and your household. Because right now, too, a lot of you people are hungry. You're sick. You ain't got no money. And bitch, girl, is anybody coming together with y'all? Say, hey, let's come together as black folks and let's pitch in. Let's help the single woman over here that got children she needs to feed. Let's help her get out the system. Let's all pitch in and help her. Are we seeing that? Are we seeing black gay people crying out on YouTube and social media for help, and black folks banding together? Oh, y'all, let's come together and save this young black man or this young black woman because they crying for help. Are y'all seeing that? I'm not seeing that. Hell, even going into like Bigo and shit, messy ass platforms like Bigo, you got black folks calling CPS on black folks. And I'm just like, girl, and as a non-discriminatory, color identifying individual, I'm looking at it from the outside too. I'm just like, damn. So it would be okay for a white person to call a CPS on you too, because you called a CPS on yourself. Make it make sense for me. Make it make sense for me. In the magical community, being y'all so awakening, you're so, I'm woke. If you're so conscious, make it make sense then. if it's so true and you're so awakened, then why are we not seeing you out here the same thing, supporting, speaking about this, what this should be, this how it should be, regardless of what this person is doing for their experience. We got to support this person because this is a person of color and they're not going to get support from anyone else. That's not what we're talking about here. And yeah, we had a little era where they were like, support black owned businesses. But girl, how far did that go? Because a lot of these black owned businesses had to get PPP loans. And I'm just saying. But before the pandemic, you know, people are spending trillions of dollars. And it's, hey, Google. Hey, Google. How much money do the African Americans spend on lashes and weaves every year?
Sorry, I don't understand.
No, she don't know it. Let's see what she know it. How much money do African Americans spend on weaves and lashes every year? Girl, they don't know. So the wait, hold on, wait, what got motherfucking minute. So you mean to tell me when these people are talking about black folks, we got the money, we spending trillions of dollars at the Asian beauty supply store. So you mean to tell me it wasn't just black folks spending that money, there was everybody spending money? Because Google can't seem to find this fucking data. Google can't seem to find how many black folks. Girl, listen. At the end of the day, girl, let's talk about it. At the end of the day, babe, everybody can practice whatever the fuck they want to practice. Who the fuck are you? Bitch, you don't know where the fuck you come from. And I'm just being real here. You don't know where you come from, and you don't know where the hell you going. And this is why shit is so fucking. That's why you can't have shit and you're not going to have shit. And also speaking into it too, you better get right with your ancestors, because y'all out here with all that trauma, all that dead weight on your shoulders, and then you wonder why you're manifesting broken households, because the spirit is broken. Hello. And this for anybody who want to accept that, because we're not just going into blacks, we're talking about everybody. Spanish got broken households too. Can we talk about it? Mexican Americans that got broken households too. Can we talk about it? Hello. Bishop, we're not excluding anybody. We got white folks with broken households too. And I remember somebody said it too. Well, white folks are the highest number of people on welfare. Well, allegedly, they account for like 6% of the population. And we know that's not true because they identify immigrants as Caucasian too. So of course it's going to show in numbers as, you know, they're greater. But at the end of the day, and I think they even consider like immigrants, like all immigrants too. Hispanic, Asian, Haitian, they consider them Caucasian. So either way, it's like, girl, on paper, Caucasian. But it's just like, girl, of course, there's more of them. So that's what's going to be. But at the end of the day, girl, let's worry about you and your household. Let's get your household nice and clean and organized. And then we can focus on why the Utahs are practicing our magic. When our house is together, when we can manifest something outside of a broken dick, a broken bank account, and a broken space for us to live in, then, like I said, we need to not worry about what Utahs and them are doing. Because clearly, I mean, this is just my opinion. It's just what I would do. I would try to get close to these Utahs, and I would want to know exactly how they're doing their workings. I'm like, so, well, you out here doing, because this, let me say this. This is a side note. I went on down there, and I'm going to be done with this too, by the way, y'all. And I only got a little bit of energy right now because I had a slice of vanilla cake. Ow! Yes, girl, I got a sugar rush right now. Excuse me. And you know it's about to wear off, girl, any minute. Girl, what time is 11:40? It's about to wear off any minute, girl. I ate that about an hour and a half ago. Long story short, and I did good, girl. I had steamed vegetables today with rice noodles. What? And for snack, I had almonds with cranberries. Girl, what? And I drank water all day. Hello? And I'm going to get on my cardio bike before I go to bed. Anyway. But I went down to this little spiritual shop, and it was, self-identifying Caucasian man. I'm sorry to use that word, self-identifying Caucasian, because I don't know for sure if he's really Caucasian or not. But he's self-identifying Caucasian. He had a wrap on. He had some Ilekis on. And I walk in, and he's like, oh my God, your energy feels so wonderful, darling. And I was like, oh, he's gay. Didn't even know it at first, because he's very tall, burly type of man. He was just so queening out, girl. Long story short, when they're talking and this white woman walks on in shape. I mean, girl, listen, this one was gorgeous. Y'all, this woman was gorgeous. Like Playboy Bunny type of gorgeous, and you couldn't tell her work if she had work or not. But if she was perfect, where you would say, yeah, she probably did get work. But then also she had her son with her, out of shape, teen, whatever. So I was like, oh, okay, so this is a bitch. And then of course she pulled over. She pulled up in a fucking Aston Martin. Long story short, girl, she's like, yeah, I want to know is blank in here. Oh, almost said his name. It's blank in here. And the guy's like, no, he's not. He won't be in until Tuesday. And she's like, darn it. And then he's like, but can I help you? And she's like, no. She's like, he's to teach you certain rituals, and I'm manifesting. I become really good at it. Like, I'm so good at it that I can literally just get my herbs, light my candle, say my tea, and it manifests. And now on the flip side to that, I'm looking like, well, what type of magic is this bitch doing? Right? This when I first moved to the area, I was like, what type of magic is this bitch doing? Because I'm trying to get in on that. And then on the other side, I was thinking like, damn, I know people would be mad. They come up in here, if a Hispanic or a black person came up in this shop and they saw these African statues and herbs and Spanish herbs and shit. And they saw this white bitch in here talking about she manifested with this shit. They'd be like, who the fuck is this bitch? Why this bitch using our word? And I was thinking to myself, like, but see, this type of shit that you want to get into, fellowship. I would be wanting to ask her, if I was this person that's trying to get it and she already got it, I'll be trying to ask her, how are you getting this? What exactly are you doing? Because let's be honest here. Clearly the spirits or whatever energy she's working with is answering her prayers because she's manifesting, right? When the people on the flip side who claim to do hoodoo and voodoo and they come to be, this is their magic, why are you just doing their magic? I'm kind of looking like, well, they're not, they're manifesting though with that magic. And from what I've seen on these platforms, a lot of these pictures, all they manifest is brokenness. They're single mother spiritualists and they're lying saying, well, I didn't really want the man. You a motherfucking lie, girl. Girl, you 50 years old. Your oldest child is fucking 20, 21, 22. Girl, that means to tell me, girl, that you were already unless you just came about this when you were in jail, you had an awakening to be a spiritual advisor. If this is really your lineage like you're claiming it is, then you know at that point what you were trying to do and what not to do. Because even as a kid, I would hear stuff, and I want to check out this. I've never shared this with y'all about anything. We can also cross-reference this. And what I mean by that, I can call somebody right now who I believe is still up, and they can attest to this, what I'm about to say. So my family, they married a lot of people, right? My family is very diverse, whatever, right? Going into my grandfather's, which is my mom's dad, he had wives that were, Black, and they, were not into dating outside their race. In fact, they didn't even like my grandmother, right? They couldn't stand her because she couldn't cook like them, if not better than them. And so forth. So I'm not even going to get into that. But they would say some fucked up shit about her. Even their grandkids or their great grandkids would be like, yeah, my grandma I was talking about your grandma and how she was this white woman who thought she was black. And I was just like, bitch, the fuck? Bitch, you lucky your grandmother dead because, bitch, I would let her have it. Don't come from my grandma. Anyway, but going back to what I was going to say, they date interracially. They mix up, right? They do things with different types of people. And so either way, one of my relatives two of my relatives actually married African people. And as a kid, y'all, this before, when I say kid, like 9 years old, 8 years old, 9 years old, like I've always heard about superstitions, but I didn't know that I thought that was everybody's way of life. I didn't know, oh, this is something different or this is a superstition. I thought that everybody believed in if the fork fall, you're going to have a woman guest. If the spoon fall, blah, blah, blah. You sweep your foot, put salt on your feet, spit on the broom. If you don't, you're going to go to jail. I thought everybody knew about these things, right? Don't spend money on a Monday. Like I said, I thought everybody knew this stuff. I didn't know it was something new. And so, and then putting pennies in your pot of black eyed peas in the first year. So either way, one of my aunties, not cousins, married an African. So we had a lot of African people in our family, and they would eat like the craziest stuff, y'all. And they'll be like, well, you lucky we're not back at home because we eat monkey brains. And I'll be like, ew, yeah, you fucking monkey brains. The fuck? Like, girl, I'm thinking this at 8 or 9 years old, like, monkey brains? Oh, hell no. These people are cannibals. Baby, I was scared to go to their house, and I didn't eat nothing out their fucking food, and out the kitchen. And I remember one time my mom was having a conversation with one of my cousins, and they were like, "Yeah, you got to be careful because she makes two different pots of her food. You know, one pot is for her man, and one pot is for the guests." And she was like, "One time I ate the pot that she made for her man, and it made me sick." And this is what I'm eavesdropping, like I'm hearing this, y'all, like being nosy, right? And my mom was like, "Well, what do you think she do?" And she's like, "Oh, girl, they be doing that voodoo to keep the man, girl. They be putting their panties in, and putting their period blood, but it has to be right when it starts, and girl, breaking it down." So like I said, I've always been aware of tricks and all this other good shit. I had confirmation as I got older and I started meeting outside people that I never talked about this stuff with, because like I say, why would you just come out and say, "Hey, on New Year's, you put a penny in your black eyed peas? Y'all drink penny juice?" Or like I said, who will start those comments? So you just, like I said, you just don't think to speak about shit. But looking back, I'm like, oh my God, these people were doing some weird shit. And I remember too, there was this guy, one of the uncles was trying to get my mom. My mom was, of course, taken, but he was trying to get my mom. And what he would do is he would try to get us, like he'll try to be nice to us. And he would always give me these coconut cookies. What was his name? Oh my God. Oh God. It was like Arnaz or no, Anazi. I don't know. It was something like that, girl. It was a different name. But he would do that and he would always give us money. When I say money, y'all, like money. Like, here's $50, here's $100. And it was like, oh, he's trying to sweeten us up. So then my mom said, he's being nice to my kids. Oh, okay. Oh. And I remember one time my oldest brother got in trouble and he wanted some new shoes. And my mom was like, "I ain't giving you no money for no motherfucking shoes." Blah, blah, blah. And so he heard my brother asking. And then my brother was like, "Well, why don't you ask, my stepfather?" And my mom was like, "I ain't asking him for shit because he ain't gonna give it to you because you got in trouble and you're on punishment and we don't spoil punish kids." You know what this guy did? He gave my mom the money to get my brother the shoes. And so my brother was like, "Oh my God, you need to," they're trying to say, "You need to date him, drop him and get with him." But like I said, looking back, I'm like, girl, no, everything happened the way it should have happened. Because even that guy, I think he had like 30 or 40 fucking kids, girl. And he was also trying to get a motherfucking green card. Could you imagine that? Girl, bye. Trying to marry my mom for a motherfucking green card, girl. Lost your motherfucking mind, bitch. Anyway, y'all, I know I said a lot with a lot, but everybody can get the magic. That's the bottom line. Everybody can get it. White folks, black folks, hey, girl. And it says right here that hoodoo is Native American, Christianity, and Jewish. Did I say that Native American practice is black only? Did it say that? I got one even better. Did it say that Jewish mysticism is black only? Did it say that Christianity is black only? Better yet, it says that hoodoo first started. So it'll be interesting to know, and maybe I should ask around, because I have a hoodoo book for the motherfucking 1930s. I have a hoodoo book for the 1930s, babe. You sure do. Hello. And I didn't see anything in there about no native tongue. They're here speaking Swahili Bahila. Hold up. I'm not seeing that up in here. I'm not seeing this at all. And it says right here, this is the commercialized aspect. Can we talk about this right here? So it said that hoodoo, also known as conjure or woodwork, is a folk magic tradition that originated in Africa and was developed in the Americas by enslaved Africans and their descendants. It says that right here, practices. Hoodoo practitioners are natural and supernatural elements. They use natural and supernatural elements to create change in people's lives. Some practices include spells, which are called roots, and their strengths come from the hoodoo's mojo. Mojo bags. These bags contain personal items, herb stones, and are specific to each individual. So it sounds like a Native American medicine bag. And then ritual baths. These baths are conducted with herbs, and the day of the bath is significant. For example, a Wednesday bath is good for health. So that'll be another thing too, why these hoodoo practitioners don't talk about the importance of bathing and why most of them look like they don't even take a bath. And I'm just asking. I'm just asking. It said candle spells. The color of the candle has special meaning. For example, a yellow candle represents creativity and intellect, while a purple candle represents meditation and protection. So even the color candles are different in hoodoo than they are in Wicca, right? Right. So y'all, this is what I'm encouraging y'all to do, because a lot of people out there claiming to be hoodoo workers, root doctors, double head doctors, all sorts of bullshit that they claim to be. Why don't y'all go get a hoodoo book and see what the hoodoo books say on candle colors and see if it matches what these so-called hoodooists say? Second of all, it also goes into the beliefs, right? It says that hoodoo practitioners believe in divination, blessings, and curses. They also believe that God is a supreme being. So God is a supreme being in voodoo or in hoodoo. So what is the talk about the Orishas with the hoodoo practitioners? Because they don't say they voodoo, they say they do hoodoo. They don't say they're voodoo priestess or priests. They don't say that, right? So it's interesting to know that God is the supreme being, but yet we talk about the Bible because the Bible is what you use in hoodoo. Am I wrong? Or, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Oh, can I get an amen up in here? And the Bible is used in hoodoo because it said that Christianity is the forefront of hoodoo. Then it goes into Jewish mysticism, which is still the Bible, but you speak Hebrew. Gadale, Radare, Chazaneh, okay? Isabel, Chauvenet. Do we need to start getting into it? Hello? That's what I want to do too. Can we have any of these hoodoo practitioners to come out and say anything of significance in Hebrew? I'll be okay with even you saying counting from 1 to 10. How? Can we get into it? That's all. Better yet, I would love for you to say a prayer to Archangel Michael in hoodoo. Excuse me, in Hebrew, if you're such a hoodoo practitioner. Anyway, and it says, and also some spells are required. They're more powerful when you speak Hebrew, by the way. I just want to point that out there. But it says, but that ancestors and spirits can be conjured for help or advice. So you are asking your ancestors for help or advice, and clearly they're not helping. Because clearly you're knocking and the doors are not opening. And we're not talking about for everybody as whole, but I'm just saying, with a peace of mind, ancestors helped you get a job, you want to went to jail for stealing. If the ancestors help you to get money in the bank, you want to be bankrupt. You want to have to get your car repossessed. Your house want to be foreclosed on. Hello! Maybe you should have asked your ancestors for advice on getting a house. Or maybe you did and your ancestors just wasn't wise to give you the answer you needed. I don't know. Just food for thought. And then it says right here, guardians. What type of shit is this? Guardians? Girl, the fuck? What? It says that guardians, women are often the guardians and preservers of hoodoo. Now, I can see the original practice of that because the woman was at home while the man went to work. The woman was at home taking care of the children, cooking the food, cleaning the house, organizing the household, while the man was out working and fucking and sucking on something else. We're not gonna go into that because that's not, we're not talking about that. We're not gonna get into that because everybody's grandpa and daddy didn't do that. But for the most part, that's how a lot of y'all got stepbrothers and stepsisters and half sisters and half brothers. Some of y'all got it, don't even know y'all got it. Because while mama was at home, daddy was out there getting it on. He would go to work, clock out. Sometimes he would meet him at the job to get something, to give us something. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, babe. Sometimes Big Mama let herself go. Okay. And Pawpaw wanted something fresh and right. So he decided to go get maybe a white woman. He decided to maybe go get a young, fit, black woman. And there you go. She had a baby. Hello. Now you got to have brothers. But anyway, I just think it's so interesting. This is more of the commercialized aspect of hoodoo. And it says right here too, oh my God, this is amazing, girl. It says that English, Sea Island Creole, and Ave Tutnese is the language of hoodoo. You guys, this is so amazing, right? Because we know Sea Island Creole. We know Ave Tutnese. We know English too. How many of these other hoodooists out here know these languages? Do they know Sea Island Creole? Hello? Hello? I mean, hell, French. You know French for that matter. They be tapping into laws and stuff. You know French for that matter, girl. Broken. Do you know, bitch, Creole, broken French. You know that? Cause see, I've yet to see a girl get up on here and talk way to that girl. They be talking about Yoruba. I know Yoruba. I know this. I know that. Girl, have y'all? That's the other thing too. Do y'all have a passport? Do any of y'all plan on taking a visit out there to Yoruba? You plan on going out there to Nigeria to see Ocean River? Y'all plan on get out here to touch the people, to get people to come back? That's something too. You got people from Nigeria. Have they ever brought you something from Nigeria? Have they shipped you a statue? Do you have the seeds of Oshun from the Ocean River? Hello, can we talk about it? Do you have these things? Do you have woodworkings? Did they ship you some special artifacts from Africa that you have in your home right now that you can turn on the camera and show? These are interesting things I would like to know. If these people are really what they say they are. See, there's a commercial and there's a real life Holyfield type of shit. Like I said, baby, can anybody speak, you know, I mean, hell, we'll settle for even Louisiana Creole. Anybody out there, any of these hoodoo practitioners, Louisiana Creole? Hello? Fifi? Tigason? Hello? Anybody? Anybody want to come forward? Anybody want to talk? Hello? Anybody know Louisiana Creole? Anybody know, they say Sea Island Creole. Ooh, they're trying to be fancy, girl. They also say English, and I mean nothing too. Most of these so-called hoodoo practitioners don't even speak English properly. English so damn broken, girl. It's like, what the fuck are you speaking, girl? I'm waiting for you to speak, bust out with a language, and you trying to read me down. I remember one of the girls had what did she have? She said that she had a gap. She had a caricature of a gap tooth bitch talking like this, and was trying to say that was me. Bitch, at the end of the day, this gap tooth and whatever you think I have, lists or not, got me places, and it wasn't behind bars. Oh, hello. Now that's Rita of all Reed. You know what? That's another thing too before I leave, because of course I'm not done. I'm not done. I told y'all I was coming here one day soon. It's gonna be a surprise, y'all. We're gonna come here and we're gonna go down the list of the PPP loans hoodoo workers, the root workers who got PPP loans, the root workers who couldn't manifest it in the workings. Couldn't get a high school diploma, couldn't get a college education, couldn't do anything outside of con, lie, cheat, and motherfucking steal. I mean, hell, one of them was even what they call that? A professional suer? A professional litigator. Is that what they call it? A litigator? Okay, girl, I was in the court system, girl, trying to get that, trying to get this, trying to milk this, trying to milk that. Girl, listen. I would love to have a good old live conversation. And if we want to read, we can read. And it also goes to that young man by the name of Venetia. No, what's that bitch's name? Vashanti. That also go to that young man, Vashanti. Jigsaw looking bitch. That's to go for that bitch too. We can have a read, girl. We can sit down, training the tranny girl, and have a good read session, girl. Ow! Because you got those people on too, girl. 20,000. Like, bitch. Girl, what the fuck? Girl, bye. Anyway, let me go, y'all. Let me go, girl. Listen, let me go. Let me see, girl. Okay, that's it. Come on, Tabby. Okay, only Tabby. Hey, Michael Jackson III. 100% right. They use fake numbers and these are still true. Right. I noticed that to me. Right, Tabby. Your live stream will start glitching anytime you speak on truth. Ooh, which one would be more effective when trying to manifest? Hoodoo, voodoo, or hoodoo? I'm going to be honest with you. I think that what will manifest quicker and more effectively is what the true intention is behind. A lot of us, when we start out with our prayers, especially when it comes into hoodoo, we don't manifest things to show off. We manifest things to be for us, right? We don't manifest things to, oh, wow, look at the new car I manifested. Oh, look at the new house. We don't manifest things to show. Because we know that also the devil bless you with things as well. We ask for manifestation so that we're good, so that we're taken care of, so that we're protected, so that we will always be taken care of, right? And that's what it comes down to. And of course, we show people how to also get it, but we're not here saying, y'all, I can show you right now. I would say I'm open for it because, of course, if you're doing money rituals with me or we're doing anything, you're like, well, bitch, you always talk about money rituals. What are you getting? What are you getting? So that's what I say. I'm always open, girl. We're getting work done, and you want to know. Hey, I want to know about protection, but give me some proof that you know what you're doing. Bam, we could do it. We can show tangible evidence of protection work that we did. Because bitch, I have a whole archives of photos, I have archives of videos, I have archives of recordings. Bitch, let's talk about it. We can show exactly what we do. Okay. Interesting how a lot of people have Cameroon ancestors but don't even know it. Right, you said it. I've seen spirit come out of the fires in the form of smoke. They straight up look like demonic creatures or ugly spirits, demons. Right, honey, right. They look differently, right? And it also depends on who's doing the fire. Who's the pyromaniac? Okay. Not the wide nostrils. I'm just being for real. The wide nostrils. Okay. The wide nostrils, babe. Whatever you have that identifies being black, because it's not just skin anymore. You know what I mean? Trick watchers. Right. They're trick watchers. Trick watchers. You trick watching ass. Okay. Come on. Come on, Debbie. 100%. They're recycles and they learn nothing. They've devolved instead of evolving spiritually. You said it. And that's how I tell people it becomes a very dangerous game, Debbie, because these people are getting advice and guidance from these people. And it's like, girl, I don't need nobody that's going to sympathize with me to heal me. I need you that's going to call out the energy that's blocking me. And I want you to show me how to get right. I don't need you to say, well, I need you to come and do work with me because I'm a spiritualist. I'm also of color and I'm also trans. So if you're a trans person of experience and you're colored, I can show you how to get out. That's not why I want you to work with me, because a lot of my clients are cis heterosexual identifying women who have had success. We don't have the same storyline, but they still manifest what it is that we're trying to manifest. So it's not even about all that. It's about you being shown how to properly acknowledge, first and foremost, opportunity. And we're going to say space and opportunity, because that's what it's about. Okay. They're spiritually dead. A lot of white folks who live inside, right, all over the world. Facts. They're thirsty of girl, right. Buying Little Caesar pieces for D. Ooh, right. Right, buy a Little Caesar pizza for some D. Girl, send a pizza. Girl, listen, I know a girl, Debbie. Girl, they called her Sugar Mama. Girl, 6'5", big old 300-pound fucking nigga. Anyway, girl, this thing would send a man a pizza in a minute just to see him play with himself on camera. This thing will send a man, listen, baby, I'm going to send you $20. Oh, you hungry? You don't got, listen, let's talk about it. I was talking to a guy from Nigeria. And the guy was like, hey, I'm going to be coming to America because his English was very, very perfect. And he's like, I'm be coming to America for work. And I can get there easier if I have someone who can host me. And he's like, my job will pay you up front to host me and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, do they do background checks and stuff on people? Because, of course, I don't just want to run the church to come to stay at my motherfucking house. The fuck? And he was like, yes, they do. They check me and everything. They come in. We have to get approved from America. America also did a background check. It's very extensive. He's like, I waited a year or something for this approval. I'm going to work out there. I need you to host me. I'm only going to be out there for 6 to 8 months. And I'm like, okay, so we're talking. I'm like, well, let's talk for a month or whatever. I'll see if I'll get a feel of you. And if we're vibing, why not? If I feel weird or whatever, no, because of course I want you to respect my home and my animals. Right. And he's like, oh, okay. Y'all understand that. So we're vibing, y'all. And everybody was like, well, maybe he doesn't know her tea because he wasn't fucking with the other people. The other girls would try to talk and he's like, mm-mm. Long story short, this girl was realizing how we were vibing and she was like, no, I gotta have him because he's a very attractive man. Tall, nice hair, colored eyes, very attractive. So of course she had to like insert herself in, right? And that's another thing too. That's why I'm just like, girl, I learned a lot over this past year from last December to now of people. Like I learned a lot of things about people I never even thought I would learn. But yeah, she started messaging him, and of course she was playing with him in front of me, right? And of course we're not dating, so I don't give a fuck. But she'd be like, "Oh yeah, you should come and see me in America." Blah blah blah. And he's like, "Oh no, I already, yeah, I'll be going to America, but I already have somebody I'm going to see." Of course he didn't say no names. But then she's trying to entice him. Well, how much money do you make over there in Nigeria? And he's like, honestly, currently here, that's why I'm going to America. It's like $160 a month or something like that. It's equivalent to $160 a month. If I get over there, I'll be making that in a day. So she was like, "Oh, this makes me kind of feel bad." And the guy was like, "Why?" Because I wanted to know why too. But I'm like, "Girl, let me see how far this gonna go." And she's like, "Because I'm over here making 160 plus a day. You over there in this country, you're making it a month. And I hear that you have like your parents in the background. And this really sucks. And I really want to help." And the guy was like, "Yeah, I know." But he's like, "That's okay. That's why I'm coming to America." Y'all, mind you, this man was already like, because we were already talking for some time. Okay. He was already sending me, we were already video chatting privately. He would get on cam without no clothes on, vibing it up, talking up. We were already there, right? On that level, that personal level, right? Like, okay, you saw your body, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Maybe you'll see mine, maybe you won't, type of thing. So she didn't know that already, though. She didn't already saw the tea. So she's like, "Yeah, I feel bad because I want to, I want to help you out, blah, blah, blah." Y'all, a week went by. This guy was blowing up my WhatsApp app. And I'm like, "Why is he blowing me up?" Right. And I answer, and he's like, "Yo, just so you know, that girl that was in your life that one time, she kept harassing me about sending her videos and stuff of me, and that she was going to send me money." And he was like, at first I said, "Nah," but then finally I fell for it. And of course, I got the money. And he was like, "Now she's trying to like blackmail me and blah, blah, blah." And I was like, first of all, I'm not in that. Second of all, you should have thought about that, because there's other ways of getting that money. I'm sure Mama didn't see no more than $200. You're right. She sent me 150. Right. So I'm sure she didn't see no more than 200. You could have worked that out somehow, some way, another way. You say you're even coming here to get things together. So blah, blah. So I just said, "Oh, wow. Like this bitch is a thirsty ass fucking bitch." And so I'm saying all that to say, girl, she's a very cashy girl for some penis. No one could ever say I offer them anything for any of their genitalia or any type of nudity, because I don't do that. Baby, I've managed adult entertainers. I remember a guy wanting to make money, and I told him, "Well, you send over your stuff. I can like put together a promoting package for you." And he's like, "Okay, what do you want me to send?" I was like, "Well, it could be PG, it could be whatever, but of course we'll get into a contract. So before you send anything over, let's do a contract." Of course, I still got all the text messages, all the messages too. But he just started sending videos and pictures over, and I'm just like, dude. Like I want to sign something with you, so this is legit, and you're sending over shit, and I didn't even ask for this shit. Like I said, this is all in a text message. So they try to make it seem like, "Oh, she's over here trying to work this out with men for nudity." It's like, girl, no, girl, he wanted me to help him out, and I wasn't going to send over my money. I was going to put together a package for him, because I don't spend. I like to collect. Okay, hello? Anyway, come on, Debbie. Buying Little Caesars Pizza. Shout out to all the Easter workers. Yes, honey, come on there. Chinese magic is very powerful. Sure is. Girl, people have asked if I'm Asian before. I know that's right. In Love Country, right. Not Love Country. Come on, Shamika. How you doing? Yes, Shamika, come on in here. Listen, y'all. Oh my gosh, Shamika, did you check your email? Let me know if you got that email, Shamika. I'll resend it. I didn't get a response from you. If you didn't get it, I'll resend it. But listen, y'all. I'm gonna go, and I'll be back. We're supposed to do a Midnight Metanoia, but something came late, so hopefully I can get it together tomorrow. Y'all, I need a fill, and I forgot to call him on Friday. I'm like, I don't want to text his personal phone because his wife already thinks something is going on. Okay. Girl, she was looking at the corner of her eye while we be talking. I'm just like, girl, I don't want your man, girl. So when he texted me from his number, I was like, oh, I'm never going to text that number back, baby. We'll talk on the shop line. Okay. Anyway, y'all, bye for now. Love and light. twospiritmystic.blogspot.com. Listen, we're in danger, girl, if people keep up with that racist shit. We're in danger. Bye for now. Love and truth. Love and light. Think I'll stop by.